Oh my, that hat looks fantastic on you. You should wear that more often. Only reason why I brought this up, you and your wonderful hat, if you happen to be wearing a hat. If not, then get a hat on. Go out in public like that? No, I'm just kidding. Skiddin'. I say that a lot. Skiddin'. I need a shirt that says skiddin'. um, yeah, the whole hat thing. I was watching a video on the YouTube today about drive-by compliments, and I thought, wow, that's awesome. They're doing it. I'd like to think I could take credit for that, but I won't because I didn't. But that's the kind of movement I'm talking about. Like, something, we need to spread it wide, man. Everybody should be making people smile. And that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight. Before I get to it, I got a few other things. So yeah, you should check them out. I didn't get too far into it. I didn't even get the author or the director or anything. It's Drive-By Compliments. And I think it's pretty cool. I did something I didn't hate today. It's been a while, because I know earlier on in these episodes we really went over like artwork, and I showed you like stuff and where I feel like I was progressing and stuff like that. And this one, I wouldn't say there's any progression in it. I just feel like there's a little bit more motion in it. There's a little bit more fluidity to it. It's a little bit more believable on an unbelievable scale, I guess. I'll try to, you know how hard it is for me to show you things on here. Okay, so I call this one Old Man on the Telephone. Now, a lot of you whippersnappers out there may not know what the hell that thing is coming off of the receiver. That is a, well, most of you probably do now. None of you were that young on here, I don't think. But we used to have phones. You had to dial them. If you had to dial a lot of zeros, like 1-800, oh, God forbid, you'd be waiting forever because you had to wait for it to go back. You couldn't force it back because it would screw it up. And they had these curly cords, so you can only go so far away. Even before them, before my time, they only had straight cords, so you didn't even get that elasticity to it. You basically were stuck where you were within like a 6-foot area or something. I don't know, but that's why like we take this shit for granted. This is a mini computer in your pocket, a computer 100, 200, 300 times more powerful than my original desktop computer. Like, I don't mean to sound like an old guy, but a lot of people do not appreciate this. Like, anyone who is under 30 probably doesn't have a true understanding of telecommunication and phones and how it worked. And I mean, even I remember my mother talking about party lines where you had a shared line in your neighborhood. You didn't each have your own phone line, so you had to pick up, and if somebody was talking, you just hang up. And if they weren't talking, then you could make your phone call, and other people could pick up. Now, the sneaky thing about that is you could listen to people's conversations, which is kind of, well, I guess you wouldn't be having that kind of personal conversation on a party line. But yeah, old guy with a phone. I really liked him a lot, and I'm going to ink that one up, I think. I screwed up that other one, The Little Kid. I've been kind of going back and fiddling here and there with it. But it's just not, ever since I put the dark hair, the hair is just too dark. It didn't dry as light as I wanted, and you can't really see. There was really, really beautiful fine black lines. Very Van Dyke. What's the guy's name? He does a lot of gorillas and monkeys, real sketchy in ink. Like, he's just a phenomenal artist. I love his work. I know he's on I think he's on the Swell Fellows over here, so, or over there. So check it out if you get a chance, because he's amazing to watch just work. It's just really good. Let me get to the meat of the matter tonight. I got two things I want to talk about. One of them is a little conspiracy theory, so I'll save it for a different video, or a second video if I do a second one again tonight, which I've been on a roll lately, let me tell you. I feel like I've caught up. Like, I know I said I wasn't going to worry about catching up, missing the days that I've lost, but I feel like there's a good collection of videos out there, more than what should be out there already. You know, we've doubled or tripled, well, I wouldn't say triple, but I've recorded triple the number that's out there. Probably more than that. I lost track after like 320 something. The Constitution. Let me just double check this so I don't sound like a complete idiot. I just want to double check this. Constitution, which is also a ship. The USS Constitution, if I am not mistaken. Yes, okay. With the whole, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution. Sometimes I forget where we the people comes from. It comes from the Constitution. I started thinking about that today. This is the meat. We're into it now. We the people of the United States, like how do I say this? We create our own borders. Like, we the people. That's declaring a country. You know what I mean? Like, here's what I want to talk about. Country versus globe. You know what I mean? I've mentioned this before in videos, and I'm still a little on the fence about it. I believe in my heart of hearts that we should be thinking globally, thinking of every individual on the earth, our enemies, our friends, people we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my heart, I honestly believe we should be taking care of each other as a world. Like, the United States should take care of South America. If our loans are getting a little too high, maybe someone shares the burden, like Russia. I don't think they would at this point right now, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we should have a new constitution, a global constitution. We, the humans of Earth. We, the people of Earth. You know what I mean? Like, the minute I think we put up borders, like countries, land is divided into cities, states, counties, countries, continents. I think, and eventually it'd be nice to think universal. But as of right now, we don't know any other planets. We're not communicating with them. So I say think globally. I think that, like, we need to get over our egos, not just as individuals, but as a people ourselves. Like, we all think, maybe not consciously. I mean, I know that whoever's listening right now, because you're smart people, you're not the center of the universe. But I think we often place ourselves there nonetheless. Not as, like, I am the greatest thing in the universe, but everything revolves around me. Or not around me, rather, but I have to affect everything that's within reach of me. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. I feel like we all need to think about everyone else. Like, every action we do, it's so easy to, like, think, I don't know, throwing something away instead of recycling it. I'm a terrible recycler. You should smack me. I'm awful at it. Awful. They make it so difficult in Lynchburg. No excuse, though. But when we put up the borders and we start thinking of us and them, when we get into that mentality, like, at one point did we stop being a world of people and we became groups and clans? I mean, I know you can trace it back to, millions of years ago for that matter, but why did we, I guess is a better question. Why did we divide as a people? Was it because land ownership? Did we feel like at what point did our mentalities kick in and go, I need to call this place mine? And when it's mine, I can do what I want on it, and I can tell you to get off of it, and I don't have to follow your rules, but you have to follow mine when you're on mine. You know what I mean? What time did we decide that was a good idea? Because I don't think it ever was a good idea. I think I like having mine land, and I like having mine house, and, mine world. But nothing's really yours. We are just a blip. You know what I mean? Like, between the beginning of eternity and the end of eternity, which I guess it just keeps going around in a circle, or whatever you believe in, like, we are a blip as human beings. Like, it's just, I mean, you'd have to look on a super powerful microscope based on the amount of years the universe has existed and how much longer it will continue to exist. Like, if you're looking for me on that grand scale, it would take you billions of lifetimes. You may not be able to. Maybe the odds are astronomical. I'm getting a little too deep. I'm just saying that why we decided that we each needed to possess, to own, to communism is it really really is the way to go. Like, if you do it right, like, everyone should help take care of one another. I think that's how it is. Like, some people are better than some things than others, but why do you put this much more value on this thing than you do on this thing? I understand, like, to become a doctor, it's important. We need to have good doctors, and they have to be smart people, and they have to spend a lot of time in school learning this. I can understand them making more money. I can understand, like, but why do we have to get to that system? What, I mean, monetary system, a credit system, like, why did we get there? Why did we choose to go there? Like, we had to have some kind of foresight. Maybe we didn't. You know what I mean? I mean, when the first time something happens, but you think you would learn from your mistakes and realize that, like, I don't know. I guess it works on a whole. It's a good way of representing things, but it's so skewed and so out of place that, like, it puts value on, not quality, but what do I want to say? Like, specifics. Specific schools of design. Like, why an actor or a baseball player make more money than a teacher, I'll never know. Like, and I'm sure some actors would say the same thing, and maybe some teachers would say the opposite. But the fact of the matter is, we put value on all the wrong things, and then we create this fake financial system to support it. And if we just thought, we the humans of Earth, we the people of Earth, like, not we the people of the United States, we the people of Australia, I mean, it's nice to have tradition, but it's even better to share it. I mean, what's the sense in having tradition, having a flavor, when, you have to jump back, you have to do backflips through hurdles, or over hurdles, or through flaming loops, just to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just born out of my time. Maybe I'm just a dirty liberal hippie. But I'm happy being who I am. If I tried to be what the world expects of you, I think I'd probably not be alive anymore. I couldn't live that way. I just couldn't. I don't want to grow up. I am a Toys R Us kid. That's what I got to say about that. I just think we need to stop. Obviously, this stuff that's happening on the southern border is a great reason to bring it up. I mean, but you see some countries that they just have a dividing line, and it just says one country on one side, one on the other. Like, there's nothing really stopping you from just being like, oh, look at me, I'm in another country. I don't know. I guess religion, politics really kind of destroyed our history as people. If that had never come into play, think how much further advanced we'd be, or smarter at least would be. Instead of having this technology, we might have something better and greater. But I'm not blaming religion and politics on where we, well, I mean, I am on where we are today, but not on creating the society necessarily we live. Well, yes, I do. Never mind that. My point is lost to the ages. But I think you get my drift on everything else, what I was trying to say. So, I'll let the whole religion and politics thing go, because that's a whole other thing altogether. However, in the next video, we will probably deeply be discussing politics and religion, because I want to talk about something I don't think I've ever talked about it or in great detail on here, but 9/11 and all my feelings about it, the day, my experience. I may have sold you a little bit of it. So if you want to check that out, that'll be in the next video coming up in just a few minutes, or I'll be recording it in just a few minutes. You might be watching it 7 months from now. I don't know. Thank you for always coming by. Do your best to make somebody smile tomorrow. Make yourself a better person than you were today, tomorrow. And let's make the world spin a little happier together. I'm Jason Oliver. This is episode 117. And if you want to hear my theories and beliefs and thoughts and emotions behind the worst attack in American history, come back for my theories on 9/11. Have a great night, and thanks for always coming by.